Daria, of course, I know we kind of touched a little bit on Pure Fusion Collective, but I do want to get on the, just how you felt being part of the group and being there with Zoey and Shayna, who are just, such good performers, such good wrestlers, and, are also kind of, I assume wanted to, clearly to have the trio really take off.
Yeah. I love Zoey and Shayna. It's funny because I didn't know either of them that well going into being part of this group together. And I was like, oh man, I wonder how the three of our energies are going to vibe together because I just really didn't know them. I came back from injury and Zoey was still kind of newer in the locker room. And then as we started working together, I was like, oh my God, we became like best friends. I love these girls. We all kind of had our dynamics. Zoey is like the passionate, hungry, feisty, raring to go, newer on the roster. Shayna's like, everything's going to be fine. Been there, done that. She kind of has this coolness about her. And then they would always say I was like the middleman between us all. I'd kind of rein us all in. The passion's there, but I'd also settle Zoey down when she was getting nervous. But no, we had so much fun together. We had a lot of high hopes for the group, obviously. It's one of those things where it's like, performance is a piece of it, but then booking, obviously, creatively is the other piece. And so not everybody can be booked the perfect way all the time. There's a lot of people on the roster that are super strong characters and they can't be beat, in certain ways and stuff. So it was kind of hard for us, to be honest, to come in as this badass trio, like you said, with two real MMA fighters. Zoey's incredible in the ring. And just lay waste unless they were ready to let us lay waste.
Right.
And I get it. Listen, like you have a roster of all these talented men and women, and of course you have to protect certain people, and you have to keep their character strong. So it left us with a small percentage of people that we could lay waste to. But when you're trying to build a new group and a new dynamic, you really need to be integrated with people that the fans already really resonate with and care about. So it was kind of like, I don't know if it was bad timing. I don't know if it ever would have been right timing. I think all the pieces were there if used properly.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
You know
I feel that because I think that there was a real, I thought it was cool. We don't often get that many girl groups, and I'm always advocating to see that because I think there's nothing cooler than having like a cool girl gang. Like I loved when Damage Control was like really thriving and doing their thing. And throughout the years we've seen different iterations, but there's far and few in between. And so I wanted you guys to like take off and just be like these scary, dominant, don't mess with us kind of girls.
Well, that's kind of the way, like, being completely honest, like, PFC would have worked in one way, in my opinion. And it's a path of destruction. We had to destroy everybody because when you look at us, that's what you would think. And so if we were booked there's certain groups, like Damage Control is a perfect example. Bailey has so much equity and is so beloved by the fans that a loss every once in a while doesn't hurt Bailey. Same with Dakota. And Kairi Sane is so vulnerable and sweet that like when you see her get beat up, sometimes it's good. The fans get behind her even more. Seeing the three of us get beat up as heel, it's just not what you want to see from a group like that. So I feel like it was kind of a difficult niche because there was only really one way to book it, and they weren't able to book it that way at that time, which I understand. So it was hard.
It is hard. And even now, like, we haven't seen too much of Sonya or Zoey since the group. I haven't
we haven't seen her at all. Shayna. Everyone
Shayna.
does that.
I meant to say Shayna.
Okay.
I didn't even realize I said Sonya.
Everyone does that.
Wait, do they really?
Everyone does that, yeah. They'd be like, Sonya, Shayna, like the S's, they get all confused.
Yeah, it was so funny because in my head, I'm like, I heard myself say Shayna.
No, I totally get it. Everyone does it.
It's the thing that I was trying to say is that we haven't seen too much of Shayna and Zoey since the group disbanded. And, I mean, not disbanded, but, you left. And and it's like now the group doesn't, I'm not even sure it's still a thing.
So I think they had a tag team match the other day, and I think they came out to PFC music. I mean, that could have just been like, someone making a call, like, give them PFC music instead of picking Zoey or Shayna's music. I don't know. But, yeah, I think, they probably need to do something different now, either get more members of PFC to replace me or maybe go a different direction. I don't really know creatively what they have planned, but I'm rooting for them. I'm rooting for both of them because I think they're both badasses.
Yes. No, I love Shayna and Zoey. I think they're very, 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 very talented and very cool too. Both of them, very, very cool.